Going for two, kickers are extra, I give them the boot. Ooh, going for two, sit back, relax while I grab me a brew. Ooh, now I'm reclining while putting my time and I'm ready to go. My spine is aligning and much my lineups, my bank account grow. I am so rich, but knowledge is all that I'm leaving it with. Ooh, listen to this, multiple options, how far can I get? Ooh, DFS Dynasty redraft tonight, I'm not finishing last. I'm finishing past any and all, I am looking to last. What else? This spot is popping and I am so locked in and only opening the door when it is opportunity knocking. And all of these spots keep on talking and talking. So what are we talking? What kind of alignment? And running it deep, even players forgotten or came from the bottom or hitting that top end. And this spot is popping, yeah, this spot is popping. And woo! This is the armchair, yeah. Put up your arms, yeah. Sound the alarm, yeah, yeah, yeah. Woo! This is the armchair, yeah. Put up your arms, yeah. Sound the alarm, yeah, yeah, yeah. Woo.
What is going on, guys? And welcome to the Armchair Fantasy Show, episode 255. I'm your host, of course, Jeff Lambert. You can follow me on Twitter at Jeff Lambert77. Presented as always by Going for Two Live, and we are live every Wednesday on Facebook Live, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch on all major podcast networks. And of course, we're in the Going for Two app for iOS and Android. If you are on Twitter right now, our comments are not working on Twitter, so please go find us on YouTube and make sure you like and subscribe to us on YouTube. I'm going to introduce my co-host first. You see a large panel here on screen here, but my co-host, Mr. Ryan Steerfoss. What's up, Ryan?
Not much, man. Ready for a big time show tonight and having a good time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So, like I mentioned, we have a huge panel here. So let's meet them really quickly. First up, first time on the show, Zach Pulowski, writer for Going for Two, also for IDP guys. He'll also be co-hosting the Fantasy Cheat Sheet on the Going for Two Live Network soon. You can follow him on Twitter at the Big Pulowski. What's up, Zach?
Hey, thanks for having me. Excited to do my first mock of the year.
Good stuff. All right. My next guy, you know him from the Armchair Daily Fantasy Show from during the season when we do our Friday show, Mr. Gerson Aguirre. You can follow him at Fantasy GDFS. What's up, Gerson?
Woo! What up? Cheers, everybody. Kyle, Ryan, Courtney, Thomas, the Big Floppy. Man, great crowd. I'm excited to be here.
Good stuff.
Oh, and Jeff, hi.
Yeah, me. I'm here too, Gerson, by the way. Next up, we got Kyle Senra, host of the Press Coverage Podcast and the Dynasty Gambit here on Going for Two Live. Also hosts the Full Press Packers and Full Press Fantasy Podcast on the Full Press Network. Follow him at Senra Says. What's up, Kyle?
What's up, everyone? I'm not going to mock anyone here except this draft.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Unless that counts as a mockery. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Kyle is he's the pun guy. He likes to still throw in puns every now and then. All right. Last but not least, also first time on the show, Thomas Tipple, host of the Dynasty Tilt podcast and a writer for Going for Two. You can follow him at Thomas Tipple FF. What's up, Thomas?
What's going on, everybody? Happy to be here. My first real little bit how do you do here for Going for Two. So pretty stizzoked, as the kids would say.
You took the long walkabout to get here.
You bet I did.
We have two Canadians on the show tonight.
Okay.
That's got to be a first.
Hey.
Ty Cats fan and Argos fan, though. At least you wear an Argos hat all the time, so I think sparks might fly. There it is. So I'm repping the brand here, but
two Canadians, and we have two Ravens fans as well. I don't know. I picked this panel wrong, and then we got the Saints fan over here with their newly signed All-Star quarterback Jameis Winston.
Hey, I'll take it.
Yeah,
but apparently Courtney doesn't need an introduction because he's that awesome.
The NFL is more fun with Jameis starting. That's all I'm going to say.
Hey, I'm excited about Jameis, y'all. I'm very happy about it. I'll take him any day of the week. I'm good.
I just don't want boring Jameis. I want throw it without looking Jameis. I want pre-LASIK Jameis. Then the NFL.
Pre-LASIK Jameis.
Pre-LASIK
Jameis.
Jameis.
Well, if you can't see, you might as well not look, right? So
1,000%.
30-30
I'm
and
okay
W's,
with it.
man.
I'm okay with it.
And I did forget to introduce Courtney. You heard her there in the background.
Cool.
Courtney Burrows, writer for Going for Two. You can follow her at Love Tractors 3. What's up, Courtney?
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me.
All right, so we got a huge show tonight. We're going to be doing a 3-round Dynasty Superflex tight end premium mock draft for rookies. So everybody here is logged into the mock. But before we get to that, let's do a couple of things here.
And now, the five 101s.
All right, so we're going to have a lot of things to get through here, so we're going to have to be quick with this. 5 categories. Give me your 101 of each category.
5 guests, so the math works out.
You could give each guest one question.
I could do that.
The math really works out then.
But I think everybody's kind of prepped for 5 questions, so we can do that. I think we got the time. The mock won't take that long. So we just go across the screen here. First up, Zach, give me your 101 adult beverage.
So I got to go Moscow Mule, or if I'm out, anything fruity. If it's got an umbrella in it, I want it.
Man enough to admit it on screen. I like it.
Oh, yeah. Not shy about it.
Gerson, give me your 101 adult beverage.
Gonna be
Smirnoff.
Any beer.
Any beer.
I
Yeah.
drink beer. Everybody knows I love beer.
Yeah, and anybody that watches the DFS show on Friday night, Gerson has been known to finish an entire 12-pack during the show in 1 hour.
like
and put a whole
Making
stack
more
of-
pyramids than the Egyptians.
Yeah, putting pyramids in the background and everything. So, yeah, he's definitely a beer guy. Courtney, what is your 101 adult beverage?
I mean, if I'm going to a brewery, obviously I want to drink a nice cold golden ale. But if it's a night at home or a night out, I'm having vodka soda with a twist of lemon and lime, and I like Tito's.
Nice. We haven't had that one yet. That's a good one. Thomas, what's your 101 adult beverage?
You see, I watched a show with you, and you called the old-fashioned boring. So instead of going with that one, I'm going to go with actually my second favorite, so I'm not as boring. But I'm going to go with the dark and stormy.
Nice. No reason why I didn't call it boring. The drink itself is boring. It's just boring because everybody picked that one all season long. It seemed like that was the most popular choice.
There was like a whole month in a row where everyone took it. Yeah.
It was just a hint that you need to grow up and try one.
Thomas, I have a question for you.
Go for it.
In old fashioned, does it really matter who makes it, and it can taste completely differently?
Yes.
Yeah. There's a lot of different elements that people like. It, obviously,
The one that-
liquor choice too, but
The one that I finally had on Christmas Day with my father-in-law was he said it was Wisconsin style, and he put Fresca in it. I don't know if that's common, but
I don't believe so.
He's like, no,
it can
no.
stay in Wisconsin.
South of the border there. Keep it.
Oh, way south.
Guys,
All
you
right.
watching the show. Shh. You want to?
all right, Kyle, give me your 101 adult beverage.
Well, I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about my 101 adult beverage, so I'll go with my 101 alcoholic beverage, and it's a type of wine. And even though I'm Canadian, I'll go with a Portuguese wine called Mateus. It's although I tend to prefer red wines when I used to kind of drink. It's a rosé, which is interesting for me, but I like it's the perfect blend of bitter but sweet as well. You still get kind of the grape taste. And yeah, I'm part Portuguese, so part of the
Nice.
self-nationalism there. So I'll go with a nice bottle of Mateus.
Nice.
I mean, what's this banned drink that you speak of?
Well, it's a type of tea, but it's what I'm putting in the tea.
Yes. Quite right. Yes.
Bath salts.
Yeah, it's not quite that crazy, but I mean, it's not that far off.
Oh my gosh.
I'll reveal it after to the crew.
All right, good stuff. All right, this next one's kind of a new one for us. I found this one on a website, and I thought it was kind of cool. But give me your 101 duo, and that could be like Bert and Ernie, Tom and Jerry, any kind of duo that would go hand in hand. I'll go to you first, Zach.
Oh.
So I'm going to keep it in the football family. End of an era. Rodgers and Adams. Now that's as a Packer fan, one of my favorite dynamic duos. Sad to see it go. Wish we would have traded Aaron too, but can't have a perfect world.
Nice. We got 2 Packers fans on the show too. Man, I did not pick this panel very well tonight. Gerson, what is your 101 duo?
I don't think they're the best duo, but it's just my favorite duo to watch growing up was Kobe and Shaq.
Kobe and Shaq. That's a good one. That's a really good one.
And I'm a Jazz fan, so.
Yeah, you're also a Raiders fan.
That's
You're also
blasphemy.
He's a Raiders fan and a Tom Brady fan too, so that just happens to be his theme. He likes his nemesis, I guess. Courtney, what is your 101 duo?
Look, I'm going out with Chewy and Hans.
Nice.
Fantastic.
I mean, that's what I want. I want to hang out with them. I want to be in the Millennial Falcon. I want to be all up in that.
That's a good one. Yeah. I'm sure Thomas can appreciate that with his TIE fighter there in the background.
You know it. That's nerd life.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What is your 101 duo, Thomas?
Man, I'm gonna take it way back. It's Pinky and the Brain.
Oh, yes!
Nice. That's awesome.
Right. Shout out Pinky and the
Love
Brain.
Pinky.
Narf and all. Let's go.
I almost went Ren and Stimpy.
That's good too.
I
That's
came
another good one.
close.
That's good too.
Another good one. Kyle, what you got for your 101 duo?
I mean, isn't it the best podcasting duo out there? Jeff and Foss, man.
Kyle, you're welcome on this show anytime.
Yeah. He's making a play at the chair right now.
Yeah, I think he is.
Not so much the arm.
Oh my God.
All right, let's go back around one more time. Zach, if there was one question that you could be given the absolute 100% truth to, what would you be your 101 question?
Will I ever get an entire healthy season out of CMC after spending way too much to acquire him in way too many dynasty leagues?
Nice. All right, Gerson, what do you got for your 101 question?
Why did Ryan Searfoss hate Brees so much?
That's one we can get answered right now, actually.
Oh, can I?
Well, you mean
No.
Can Ryan?
I don't know if Gerson will get.
Oh, and I guess he can. Never mind.
He turned his screen off. All right, Courtney, give me your 101 question.
Look, I was going deep thinking about these all day. I wasn't going football. I was thinking, and I want to know what I can do to be the best friend, daughter, mother, that whole thing, partner, that whole thing. And because if I'm being honest, then somebody's going to give me the honesty and I got to accept it. And most of the time they sugarcoat it shit for you, So yeah, I would want to know what I could do to be the best, right? For everybody else.
I like it. And it is, for the record, it is supposed to be non-football related, but
Okay, good.
My bad.
no, you're good.
No,
Thomas, give me your 101 question.
See, I'm actually from the East Coast, and I am an Italian. So there's one question, and I mentioned this on the show that I managed to catch, and I'm happy I get the chance to ask it. What happened to Tony Soprano?
Ooh.
What happened? It's been driving me nuts. He's hinted at it, but with Gandolfini passing away, we're never gonna know. It's driving me mental all the time.
That's a good one.
That is a good one. That is a really good one. And that's one of those, because I've always tried to think of this question myself, and if the answer is just no, then it's not a fun question to answer. I think that question, no matter if it's whatever the answer is, it's going to be a good answer. So I like that one.
Well, actually, I guess mine isn't a yes or no question either. I'm going to refer back to the great modern day philosophers known as the Baja Men and who let the dogs out. I really want to know.
I had that. I was thinking about asking that one earlier. I'm glad someone did.
I was on fire tonight, man.
Yes, he is. Kyle is coming correct tonight. All right, Zach, give me your
the collective consciousness, perhaps. I wonder how that happened. All right.
Did you think of that while drinking your tea?
Probably.
your specialty.
It has been a little bit since I've had that specialty, to be honest, but yeah.
All right, Zach, give me your 101 fictional character you'd want to meet in real life.
Ron Swanson from Parks and Rec.
That's the best answer so far on the show.
Number one.
Nice. That's awesome. Gerson, what you got for your fictional character you want to meet in real life?
Well, it'd be a wrestler, so they're not real, like they're fictional, right? Does that count?
Well, we'll take it. We'll take it.
I'm a wrestler and I'm real.
Well, you're not Stone Cold Steve Austin, so yeah, it'd definitely be Stone Cold for sure. Like if I could meet him and drink.
So you want to meet Stone Cold Steve Austin, like as Stone Cold Steve Austin?
As Stone Cold, like
the whole personality.
Drink beer.
Yep, I love it. Courtney,
I'd pay $100 to watch him stun you.
I do it for free, bro.
All right, Courtney, 101 fictional character you want to meet in real life.
All right, it's kind of a toss-up. I want to meet the Mandalorian and I want to meet SpongeBob.
Nice.
I mean, I just do.
Two people on opposite ends of the spectrum for sure.
I know.
Well,
It's like the only show I'll sit there and watch with my kid. I love SpongeBob. He's just so stupid and he's funny and I love him and he makes me laugh.
Nice.
He's got tune power. He may be more powerful, to be honest. Din Djarin's pretty awesome.
But I really want to go flying around with the Mandalorian.
That would be awesome as well. Thomas, 101 fictional character you'd want to meet in real life.
I'm gonna go deep into my nerdism here, and I will say the super being known as Q from Star Trek: The Next Generation.
I knew that one. I don't know if anybody else knew that one. That's a good one. He's almost like a god, basically, in that show.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely is.
I like it. Kyle, what you got for your fictional character?
I want to hang out with Gandalf, honestly. He knows all the best magic tricks. He knows where to find all the best Hobbit weed. Like, yeah, give me Gandalf.
Gray or white?
I feel like white doesn't really go do much of the Hobbit weeds. It's probably gray.
Gray.
Fair enough.
Nice. All right, one last time around here, Zach. Give me your superpower. If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
Seeing the future. I would like to know what's ahead.
Like Christian McCaffrey getting hurt.
Yeah.
Yes. I was trying to keep it not football related.
Yeah, you'd be the best fancy player out there. You'd be,
Wouldn't be very fun.
Yeah.
It would be super fun. I don't know what you're talking about. You ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
The things you could do on Twitter would be unreal. Gerson, what do you got for your superpower?
Be invisible.
Be invisible?
Gerson, you'd use that for evil, for sure.
Yeah, he would definitely use it for evil.
Oh, yeah.
He would break into houses and drink people's beer.
Oh, no.
Why is my beer floating?
No. I would like every single time Ryan's in a draft, I just hit Brees Hall for him every single time.
Dude, you act like he was outside of my top 3 running backs forever. Okay, dude.
All right, Courtney, what is your superpower you'd want to have?
I want to fly, but I have a condition to my flying. I have to be able to take somebody with me so that I can just like go travel and have somebody with me,
Nice.
But I want to fly.
So like Superman style, where you're carrying like Lois Lane around.
Yeah. I mean, they can go piggyback. I just want to be able to fly.
Nice.
I mean, have y'all seen airline tickets lately? They're just insane.
Good point. You saved some money.
And gas prices?
Yeah.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Thomas, give me your superpower. Seeing as how I live in an actual frozen tundra 8 months of the year, I'm going to say I want to be impervious to the cold.
Nice.
Where do you live?
Nunavut?
No, I live in Winnipeg, Manitoba, where we hit like minus 45 degrees Celsius for like 21 days at a time.
Wow.
Straight.
I can't even imagine that.
At least we have enough rocks here. We don't get that much wind like you guys do.
Yeah, too true.
Rocks,
We're literally in
rock.
the middle of nowhere.
All right, Kyle, what is your superpower?
Telekinesis. And I think
that's good.
Maybe cheating a little bit, but taking part of Courtney's answer, because as part of telekinesis, you'd be able to make yourself fly, and maybe that actually does solve your problem, Courtney, is that you'd be able to, with your mind, move someone else and be able to fly them with you.
Oh, there you go. I like that.
Nice. I love it. All right, let's get into some football stuff.
News and notes from around the league.
News and Notes is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. It's fantasy football with no waivers, no lineups, and no worrying about injuries. With their best ball leagues, you get to do the fun part, and that's draft. It's like a mock draft you can win money from. Download the Underdog Fantasy app for iOS or Android and use our promo code GF2 and get a 100% deposit match up to $100. For as low as $3, you can join one of our Going for Two leagues or one of the hundreds of contests in the lobby. All you got to do is download the app, use promo code GF2, and get your deposit match. So the first note we have up on here is the big one of today, Mr. Tyreek Hill being traded to the Dolphins. Gerson, I'm going to go to you because I know you were a huge Tyreek Hill fan, especially in fantasy, in DFS as well. We always talk about Tyreek Hill. Give me your thoughts on Tyreek Hill going to the Dolphins.
Well, I don't know Tyreek Hill. I know Tyreek Hill, but yeah, I mean, I love the guy, but I think for fantasy, this is a little bit a downgrade, not too much. He's no longer, for me, he's no longer a top 5 wide receiver. He's more from like 6 to 10. Tua is not known for singing it down the field, but I think the head coach and the offense that he surrounds himself with, at least keep his value intact, but it does hit his value a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. I think it does hit his value for sure. I mean, anytime you lose Patrick Mahomes, you're going to lose value. Ryan, what are your thoughts, not only for Tyreek Hill, but for that Dolphins offense? Does it do anything for Tua?
So I moved Tua off my rankings. He's at 13, so he's just outside my top 12. I think it really helps him. I mean, even if he can't stretch it down the field, he's going to throw a million slants to him and Jalen Waddle, who can run out after the catch.
Yep.
It's going to be fun, but not in a conventional way. For Hill, I dropped him from wide receiver 4 to 8 for Dynasty rankings for me. You're missing the best part of Tyreek Hill was that deep ball, and Patrick Mahomes is the best in the league at doing that. Like, it was a match made in heaven. They were perfect for each other, which makes this whole thing just bizarre. But, like, he has to take a dip from it. He's still going to be top 12 in my books, no matter what. But, like, you have to take a dip, and I think Waddle took a little bit of a dip, too. Not much, but I moved him down 4 or 5 spots as well.
Let me ask you this, because I had this debate on Twitter a little bit today. Does it help the CEH in that running game for the Chiefs? Like, do they run the ball more now that they don't have Hill?
No, I don't think. Like,
You don't think so?
One, I don't think it's gonna be CEH, but they're still they have 12 draft picks now. They're gonna do volume over or I guess like they're gonna go more volume over value there. Like,
Gotcha.
they can fill that out and put together a good offense. And it could even be better because they can spread it around more instead of just looking for 2 guys.
Yeah.
Like, there's a positive spin on it. I'm not fully in on that, but there's definitely positive to it.
Good stuff. All right, let's talk about some of the other news that's happened since our last show. Matt Ryan has been traded to the Colts. Courtney, what are your thoughts on Matt Ryan and fantasy, and then just those ancillary pieces there, the Michael Pittmans of the world? What do you think of them?
Geez, can we say that all they got for him was a 3rd-round draft pick? I mean, I feel like it's worth more than that. I mean, he's been, with the Falcons for 14 years. And I actually think that this is a good thing for Matt Ryan. Probably not for his family, probably not what he wanted to do, but he's a leader in the locker room. He's a leader on the field. He doesn't have the strongest arm, but he's pretty darn accurate still when he does throw. He's pretty consistent. And so I think this is good for Michael Pittman. I think this is a bump up for Mo Alley-Cox. And I do think that Matt Ryan, I mean, he's probably got, 2 years left, potentially 3. So, I mean, yeah, I know they drafted Philippe Franks, but I think that they're going to draft a quarterback into Indianapolis that can that can learn under him. You know what I'm saying? Because Matt Ryan is that leader, and, he doesn't scramble, but he's got JT. So does he need to do all that stuff in the back? He just hand it off. So I think that this is good. I think that it's good for Michael Pittman for sure. But, they haven't really had much leadership as the quarterback, and they tried with Carson Wentz and that failed. So, I mean, I don't think he probably wanted to leave Atlanta, and I sure think he's worth much more than a 3rd-round draft pick, but I'm happy for him, and I hope he's happy. I really am. I mean, I'm from the NFC South, so watching Matt Ryan, I've always thought that he was a really good quarterback on and off the field. He's a great leader. So I think it's good for him. And I hope that he sees that as, okay, that was over with. I'm going to focus here, and we are going to make a run for the Super Bowl. Because, I mean, they missed the playoffs by 1 game, right, last year with Carson Wentz. So I think that there's potential there for them to go far. So I hope I'm hopeful for him.
Nice. It was funny. I saw a thing on Twitter that was just interesting. So the Falcons Twitter account did a farewell to Drew Brees when he retired, and it was like 1.5 minutes long. And then they did one for Matt Ryan, and it was less than 1 minute. So it was like they did a longer farewell to Drew Brees than they did for Matt Ryan.
Well, you saw Cam Jordan all upset because he sacked Matt Ryan more than anybody else in the league, and he was just like, "What? Why do we play the Colts at all?" But I honestly think that they did him dirty, but I think that he can go in there and he can make a difference, and hopefully, it's not like they were moving pieces around him in Atlanta. I mean, yes, Kyle Pitts, but that's, I don't know. I just think that I hope that he goes there and he's like, see ya suckers, and he makes a run for the playoffs with the Colts. I really do.
I mean, I think the situation is improving for him for sure. Zach, I'm going to go to you on this situation as well here. Just give me your thoughts on the Colts in general, as far as not just from fantasy point, but you think they can be better than they were last year with no Carson Wentz and Matt Ryan replacing him, basically the same offense?
I know we did not see good things last year from Wentz and not good things either from Matt Ryan, but I'm convinced that with the right system, with the right protection, I loved a lot of Courtney's points with it, with JT as the primary focus of that offense. I think it'll really work out well. And I do like Pittman, Mo Alley Cox, even some Kylan Granson. He's probably a year or two away from production, but I mean, I'm higher on him than I probably should be right now, but I'm really optimistic. I'm looking at them as probably roughly a 10-win team next year. I mean, the division isn't that good overall, and I think Matt Ryan will bring in a good leadership presence to that locker room and be exactly what Carson Wentz wasn't. And I think just from a game management aspect, if he can not turn the ball over, just be smart, be clinical, that's all they need. They don't need a Patrick Mahomes. They don't need anyone flashy that needs to save them. They just need someone that's smart, that's not turning the ball over, and the rest should work out for them.
Good stuff. All right, so let's talk about the Falcons without Matt Ryan now. Marcus Mariota goes to the Falcons. Thomas, give me your thoughts on Mariota. Do you think he revives his career after a few years as a backup with the Raiders?
I mean, if reviving it is just, not being completely dead, then sure. One thing I want to point out, though, is I saw the Bird app is undefeated with really quick, instant, what's the first statistic I can pump out? And somebody targeted that Kyle Pitts is going to suffer because over his career, Marcus Mariota does not target his tight ends. Back in 2018 and 19 when he last took significant snaps, and he didn't have Kyle Pitts, who's a receiver. The game has evolved since the last time he took meaningful snaps. I'm not worried about Kyle Pitts because they don't use Kyle Pitts the way that they used traditional tight ends that he had, in his day. Basically, Ferk Daddy clones out there. I know we, Walker and all that in Tennessee, but I'm not really worried about Pitts. I am happy to have Mariota. If he does what he failed to do early in his career, which is actually run the freaking football.
He's a placeholder for Bryce Young.
Easily, 100%.
That's it. He's a 1 year placeholder for Bryce Young because he's the worst team in football.
Yeah,
and
DJ Stroud.
He's an easy super flex pickup that you can play a couple of weeks of the year. Like he's that perfect late round, pay nothing for him, get a couple games out of him, move on.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's
Kyle, what are your thoughts on the situation here with Mariota?
I mean, I think he's the second best quarterback in the NFC South. Sorry, Courtney. Well, and I mean, Gerson knows this argument, right? I mean, what are you trying to do? You're trying to win games, or are you trying for fantasy? Fantasy, Winston is better for Mariota. I think you'd rather Kyle Pitts have Winston just for sheer volume, but trying to win games, Mariota's done that. He's led teams to the playoffs once, be granted, but more than Jameis has ever done. And I think the one thing with Mariota, he's actually probably a better red zone quarterback than Matt Ryan. We've seen, Kyle Pitts last year, 1 touchdown for 1,000-yard season. Like, that's almost ridiculous how bad that is.
Julio Jones' entire career.
Right? I think Mariota will actually, I guarantee Kyle Pitts has more touchdowns than 1 next year.
Yeah, I hope so. I've said it for a long time. Matt Ryan was the worst jump ball in the red zone thrower in the NFL. He just could not throw that. You have Julio Jones, just get it somewhere near him, he's going to catch it. He could never throw that ball perfect. It was just not good.
So I like what Thomas was saying. This doesn't hurt Kyle Pitts at all. If anything, it probably helps Kyle Pitts.
Agreed. And that's what we're worried about with Atlanta. Really is Kyle Pitts' value and how that's going to work out. I don't know if there's any other pieces that you really want in that offense.
Cordell Patterson, superstar.
Frank Darby,
Wide
receiver 1 right now. It looks like on the team.
I'll also mention that it could be bad for Kyle Pitts just because Marcus Mariota is probably really bad. So in that regard, it can be bad for him, but not because what seems like a millennia ago, Mariota was not great for fantasy tight ends. Get out of here. Be scared, but not for that reason.
Let's talk about 2 quarterbacks that are quickly losing places to go start. Baker and Jimmy G. Gerson, what happens to these guys now? I mean, both of them seemed like they've run out of starting opportunities. I know the Panthers came out and said that they're not interested in Baker at all. So are they going to roll with Darnold again? I don't know. But what's your thoughts on these two quarterbacks?
They're not going to roll with Darnold. They'll put him in a training camp with a rookie quarterback, either Matt Corral or Kenny Pickett. I think Malik
Willis.
I don't think Malik Willis is going to fall down.
They're one of only 2 teams that's pro day.
Yeah, but
Just keep that in mind. Huh?
The Lions are going to trade that 102. They're going to trade it, or they're going to draft Malik Willis, and they're going to get value for it. That's just my opinion, though. The thing is, to me, is Kenny Pickett. Like everybody, apparently, I wish I could know what happened. Like I wish I could grow my hand like a quarter inch more somehow overnight. I don't know how that shit happened, but he's NFL ready. You know, everybody's looking for fantasy ready, obviously. But I don't know what Seattle's gonna do, because if Malik Willis gets drafted, Kenny Pickett goes after that to the Panthers, and they're 109, right?
Yep.
You're gonna be stuck with Matt Corral. I like Matt Corral. I think he's a good NFL quarterback. But the thing is, to me, is this: is Pete Carroll have that much patience for a rookie quarterback?
Nope.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because
he should just retire right now.
I agree with that one.
Dude, does anybody know how old he is? Like, I didn't know he was that old.
He's the oldest coach in the league. Just dude, get out of here.
I know. He doesn't look like the oldest coach.
It's because he has beautiful locks.
That youthful energy, man.
I haven't had hair like that since I was 12. That's why I look young.
It's the bubble gum.
I thought, the bubble gum, the way he chews,
Yeah, true on that thought.
Zach, what are your thoughts on Baker and Jimmy G? You think they land anywhere?
I'm not too optimistic at this point. I would like to see each of those teams from a fantasy aspect make a move for them, but I don't know how willing they're going to be to actually make a move in regards to getting a guy for essentially 1 year, because I feel as if the teams that don't already have that role filled are focused on 2023. Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, plenty of others there, where I'm just going to assume their focus is on that, and unless they can get someone for cheap and or just for 1 year, I don't see them willing to do so. But with that in mind, I look at Mariota the same way, where I believe it was a 2-year deal, correct?
Yeah.
Where that's going to be good for next year. He's kind of a veteran presence. I know he hasn't really started too many seasons. However, I think he'll be able to teach the guy the ropes. He'll be familiar with the system at that point. And whoever they bring in next year, I think he can really help them.
Does Baker have a new nickname especially in Superflex leagues? Is he now Baker the Orphan Maker? Because I'm guessing there are some teams that probably bought high after his rookie year that maybe aren't looking so good now.
Yeah,
I like to call him the bench because that's where he's going to
end
the
up
rest of his career.
That's a good point. All right, let's go ahead and get into our mock draft for tonight.
Attention, everyone. Let's mock draft.
All right, like I mentioned, this is going to be a Dynasty rookie draft. It's a Superflex, and it is also tight end premium, 2-point tight end premium. So they're pretty premium, just to get these tight ends some value in here, because there wasn't too many good tight ends. I want to see if I can get some value here.
Real fancy.
Getting real fancy here. All right, so we're going to kick it off at the 101 here with Gerson. Let me get the mock started here so he can make his pick.
Oh my God.
Drum roll, please.
No, I just had a blockbuster trade and I accepted it. Oh my God.
Wow.
Well, you got to tell us. You got to tell us what it is.
We should have your full attention.
Breaking news.
Ryan knows this. I have a 32-team league, and I just got Justin Jefferson, Tua Tagovailoa for. Hold on, let me fucking keep it. The 113 to 112. Jalen Hurts in a future 2023. It looks like a mid 2023 pick, and it's a 32-team league. I got Justin Jefferson and Tua for Jalen Hurts and all those picks.
Wow.
easy smash.
Right?
Especially because you have like 50 draft picks in like 2 years.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. He sent me that too.
Sorry. Okay. Let me go back to my.
Now you pay attention to us, Gerson.
But now we have these rookie picks that you have to make here in this mock.
Yeah.
Gerson's gonna trade it.
It's easy. Free call. Oh, why is it saying we're reaching here? It's free call. 101 to me.
Wait, what said you? It said you're reaching?
That's
Dude,
yeah.
it does that wow sound. It's like you're reaching.
You know. Yeah. Free call 101, 93rd percentile. You know, in basically combine metric. He has a very positive Z score with the JJ Zachariason, and I think he provided everything you wanted out of him. You know, combine, production. All we need is draft capital to basically wrap it up. If he gets a first round draft capital, it's unanimous. There's no way he's not going to be the 101. And I get the love for probably a couple guys that Malik Willis, you know, Superflex, but he's 101. And right now, I wouldn't be shocked if he gets that draft capital, he becomes a top 15 Dynasty athlete.
Well, I was about to say, like, do you think he makes into the top 5 of the running backs in Dynasty value if he gets that first round capital?
Top 5, JT, Najee Harris.
I have to give him top. Dynasty or running back?
Dynasty.
Top
running backs.
Top 5 running backs in Dynasty.
It's tough. It's close. Top 6 probably.
All right. So the next, the 102 here is going to be a computer pick. So we're all going to kind of talk about this a little bit. Is the pick here Malik Willis, you think?
I think it is. You got the quarterback with the skill set, the rushing upside. There's maybe only one other quarterback in this class that has as much rushing upside, but it seems like Willis is going to get the better draft capital. So, yeah,
that other quarterback's terrible.
I'm actually in a startup right now, and the rookie picks are included in the startup. The 101 and 102 went at the end of the second, and then the 103 went early fourth. So big gap between that 102, 103, and then that's where the kind of picks started to kind of fall a little closer. So I think that's kind of the consensus. These are the two in a Superflex draft. It's going to be these two, 1, 2, probably this order 2, all Willis.
All right.
That's my spiel.
Go ahead and take Malik Willis there at the 102. Foss, you are on the clock with the 103.
I'm taking Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, you are.
I love Kenneth Walker. He's
nice.
One of the most explosive runners in the draft. He rushed for 1,600 yards last year. For some reason, nobody cares if he tested out of this world too. And he's the full package. He's on step in. He's an every down back. And I don't care enough about any of these quarterbacks to pick one over him. I'd have took him over Willis.
Right, good stuff. So we are at the 104, another computer pick here. So on the board right now, as far as the sleeper rankings, Treylon Burks, Garrett Wilson, Drake London, Spiller, and then the other quarterback, Pickett and Corral are still on the board. Thomas, let me get your thoughts here. What do you think should go happen here at the 104?
Man, it's always tough without draft capital. If I'm looking at the full tilt dynasty consensus rankings, which is what I'm going to be drafting off of, the next pick for me would have to be London. So I think at 104, that's in my opinion where it would have to go. But it depends if another quarterback gets the DC. We don't know the DC, so I'm picking London.
All right, so London at the 104.
Looking at grinding the mocks, they've got quite an extensive database, and it looks like he's like expected to be the wide receiver 2 off the board, but not that far back from Garrett Wilson. So he could be the guy that goes first in the NFL draft. And even if he isn't, we shouldn't always follow that order for our fantasy drafts anyway.
I think go ahead.
I was just going to say I like London a lot. I was hoping he would fall to me.
I like, any of those top 3 really with Wilson, Burks, or London. I think that's all relative to fit and where they land. Yep. I think that can adjust a lot. I mean, we have Hill gone from Kansas City now. Adams gone from Green Bay. They both have 2 firsts, so who knows who lands where, but that could definitely change a lot if suddenly they're looked at like a potential wide receiver 1, a QB like that.
Good stuff. All right, Courtney, you're on the clock at the 105 here.
All right. Well, look, the whole night has changed. I had a whole outline of what I was going to pick and where I was going to pick it and who I was going to pick, but y'all are going to hate me and you're probably going to laugh at me. I'm sorry, Twitter world and Facebook world, but I'm taking my boy. I'm taking my boy. I know it was a reach. I know you think it is. And I know I should have gone with Garrett Wilson or Spiller there, but I'm telling you, Matt Corral, I know y'all don't think he's good. I've been watching this kid for the last couple of years, and I'm telling you, he is a leader on and off the field. He is going to he is NFL ready, and he is going to step in there, and he is going to change that locker room. It is not so much that he's got a great deep arm. He's got a great deep ball, and he scrambles, and he's good at it. Now he can be a little inconsistent sometimes when he does scramble, but I know y'all are going to hate me on it, but I don't really care.
I love the conviction.
He's my top, Courtney. He's my top QB.
I'm telling you, I love this kid.
Maybe not for fantasy. Maybe not for fantasy, but he's my top QB. I love.
Obviously, it depends on where he lands, right? Like we understand that it depends on where he lands, and I think that he has shown so much from last year to this year in his interceptions, in his leadership, in just everything. His decisions that he makes on the line. I'm telling you, this kid's going places, and I'm on his train. So there you go.
He's gonna go to the New Orleans thing. They're gonna trade up.
Big 18.
Nice. I love the conviction there. I love it. All right, so we're up to another computer pick here. Zach, I'm going to go to your opinion here. So we got Treylon Burks, Garrett Wilson, Spiller, Pickett still on the board, Williams still on the board. Who do you think we should go with here at the 106?
Again, like what I was mentioning before, I think it's going to be between Burks and Wilson. I don't really have much interest in Mr. Small Hands early on. And Spiller, I don't know how – I kind of have wavering viewpoints on him. I'm not as confident as I am with, a Breece Hall, a Kenneth Walker in regards to what I expect him to produce at the NFL level like. So with that in mind, I think – Treylon Burks, Garrett Wilson, you can't really go wrong. And again, fit will matter.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just select Treylon Burks there. Thomas, you are on the clock here at the 107.
Yeah, and it's a sleepwalk pick for me. I also don't want baby hands, and I also don't want slow Spiller. So I'll take Wilson, right? Potentially the first receiver off the board. I'm more than happy just clicking that button and going to bed easy at night.
Good pick.
All right. You want me to select it? I see you're not logged into Sleeper.
Oh, geez.
No,
yeah, I will. I'm sorry.
I got it. You're good. Garrett Wilson.
He's a good Canadian kid. He's letting you draft, Jeff.
It's your show. I'm a guest.
All right. At the 108, another computer pick here. Courtney, let's see who you like here. We got Spiller. We got Pickett, Williams. Another quarterback on the board. Chris Olave is on the board. Who do you like here at the 108, Courtney?
I think I am going to go with. I'm going with George Pickens. Can I draft him? No, it's not. I'm going with George Pickens.
All right.
Wide receiver. Yep, I want another one, so let's go with him.
Like it. I like how you're going off the board here, a little bit off script as far as what the ADP is on Sleeper, because I don't really agree with
I do follow ADP obviously, and I do a lot of looking into these guys, but I also watch a lot of tapes, and that's one of the reasons why, in my opinion, Drake London's the number one wide receiver off the board over Garrett Wilson, over Treylon Burks, because you just watch him. The kid is huge, and so I think the same thing with George Pickens. I think he's going to be a kind of a sleeper out there. Obviously, We know we're going to continue to say it. It's going to be where he lands, but I think he could easily be, a starter wide receiver too out there.
Nice. Kyle, you're up here at the 109. What you got?
Well, first off, to Courtney's pick on Corral, like again, Superflex, the value of being quarterback, I don't think it's an awful reach, to be honest. Again, the value of who you think will be the best quarterback kind of makes sense. And maybe I'll definitely be taking a big reach here by the consensus on someone, if I think they get the draft capital and lands in the right spot, may even contend with Willis to be the number one fantasy quarterback from this class. And again, it's the rushing skill set, the upside. I wouldn't be crazy. I wouldn't be shocked if by the end of the whole process, I have him as the QB1 overall, who seems to be really rising and looks like he's probably going to get that first round draft capital. Desmond Ridder.
Oh, wow. We both got the reach.
Yeah.
Well, I think fantasy wise, better than baby hands Pickett. I don't know that, if Matt Corral's super amazing efficient, he's probably the best guy anyway, but I think I want the running quarterbacks.
I've read a lot of reports as well with Ritter doing interviews where they just are blown away with how he is as a person, let alone as an athlete, where similar to what Courtney was mentioning with Coral being a leader, I view Ritter the same way. I like Ritter as he's actually my QB1 over Willis.
Wow.
Nice.
So,
Wow.
So he went to Cincinnati, right? I'm not making that
Yeah.
up. Cincinnati for his school?
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they just made the playoffs, and that wasn't a team I don't think people were expecting to make playoffs. I really don't know anything about college, but like I think he's kind of, I don't know, feels like he's got all those intangibles, but with the tangible aspect of that speed.
I like it. All right, we're up at the 110 here. Gerson, I'm going to go to you for this pick here. Who do you think should go at the 110? We've got Spiller still on the board. Pickett, we mentioned. Williams, Sam Howell, Chris Olave is on the board. Who do you got here at the 110?
I just want to pick a shitty pick so one player can follow me, but I won't.
Go ahead so you don't steal my guy with the next pick.
Isaiah Spiller has fell too far. I didn't expect a couple of these picks that high. And I'm not the highest Isaiah Spiller guy. People know that. Jeff knows that. I told Ryan that. His combine metrics and everything didn't really blow my mind. I mean, like what I saw on tape was great. But what I saw out of the metrics and all that kind of disappointed me. And I think it's more of a landing spot for him because the offense that he's going to be in really has to go with his talent. Again, people need to get over the fact that we care about a 40-yard dash for a running back. We don't. We care about the shuttle. We care about verticals. We care about different metrics rather than that. 40-yard dash has nothing to do with that. Speak to Javonte Williams. Speak to Alvin Kamara. Speak to a lot of other
Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah,
the list goes
on and on and on. But apparently, Twitter, like once everybody says something, everybody's on the same page. Okay.
Twitter tells you it doesn't matter until it happens.
Yeah.
And then it's all that matters.
Yep, it's exactly right. The 40 is the sexy metric that everybody wants to point to.
Oh yeah,
doesn't always mean anything. All right, Zach, you were up here at the 111. What do you have here at the 111?
So speaking of the sexy 40-yard dash times, there's a guy in mind. He's kind of a sleeper for relative to 111. I think I have him at roughly 112 to 114, depending on the draft. But I like Christian Watson.
I like that.
I like him a lot. He's massive. He's fast. He can jump. He can do it all. I know it wasn't necessarily your big Power 5 D1 school. However, I think he's going to be a gem for whoever gets on the rookie draft.
Daniel Jeremiah mocked him to the Chiefs today.
I would love that.
I'm glad to see Gerson happy because I feel like I depressed him with my Ritter pick. He just looked like awful. So I'm sorry, bro.
And I look at 111 as well, where you can't really go wrong with Olave or Jamison Williams, but I really like the upside and the physical traits of Watson to kind of have the upper hand over the others there.
Nice. I like it.
All right.
Let's finish out this first round here. On the board is Pickett, Williams, you just mentioned. Howell, Chris Olave is still on the board. Rashad White is still on the board. Ryan, I'm going to give this pick to you. What do you think we should go with here?
Jeff, this is your pick.
I don't pick in the mocks, man. It's too much. It's too much to try to do.
But he still wanted to put himself in the 112 as if he'd won the league.
I know, right?
Really smart, Jeff. I love it.
He's never won a league.
I'm Ryan Pickett.
Yeah.
If this was my pick, I think I'm going Chris Olave just for the
Then
record.
put it in, Jeff. It's your pick.
All right.
You got this, Jeff.
Chris Olave it is, dubbed as the best route runner in this draft class. And then he went out and he ran pretty quickly too. So he ran that nice 40 time that I wouldn't expect him. So I do think that is my pick at the 112.
That's who I was going to pick.
All right.
I just wanted you to do it.
Back on the
That was quick.
Gerson, you made your pick there at the 201. Who'd you pick?
I think Kenny Pickett is my non-fantasy quarterback number one. I like Kenny Pickett. I don't care about his hand size. I care more about like the player he is. I saw his tape. It really sold me. He can make a lot of the NFL throws. My only worry, obviously, is where he's gonna land. Because if he lands in Carolina Panthers, I don't like the coach. I hate the coach. But whatever happens next year after that, cool. But let's say the Pittsburgh Steelers draft him, we know he's going to sit behind Trubisky for at least 1 year. So it's more of a long-term reach. But for the second round pick, I'll take Kenny Pickett.
Yeah.
Superflex.
Second round Superflex to get Pickett is definitely a good thing there. All right, we're up to the 202 and a consensus pick here. So someone just jump in here. What do you think we should take here at the 102? I mean the 202.
JMO sitting on the board looks pretty egregious. So I think Jameson Williams, I think, has to go.
I agree.
Even with the injury, looks like he might get first round draft capital. So that says something.
Yeah, unbelievable.
And Foss is up.
Yeah, I unplugged my headphones for a second. My bad. I was getting rowdy and didn't really talk with my hands. Jeff just makes it so I have to talk about him every single podcast. It's in my contract. It's Jahan Dodson.
Oh, nice.
The analytics are fantastic. His dominator's high. He had a young breakout age. He killed the combine, and he has the best hands in the draft. And he's electric with the ball in his hands. I love Jahan Dodson.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
The wide receiver landscape is going to change. Whoever the Green Bay Packers draft or whoever the Kansas City Chiefs draft, their value is going to go up at least 2 or 3 spots.
Yeah.
If Jahan Dodson gets drafted by the Green Bay Packers, people are going to be drafting Jahan Dodson top 7.
Every wide receiver, like this is the cutoff. Every wide receiver taken so far in this draft, depending on landing spots, could be in any order. You can take this entire group right here and switch them around in any order, and nobody's going to complain.
I agree 100%. Yeah. All right. We're at the 204 here, and it's another consensus pick. So I'm going to pick on you this time, Thomas. Give me who you would pick here at the 204.
Rashid White.
Oh, another one. This is 2-point premium, right? So
yes,
it's Trey McBride, right? Like 2-point premium.
Oh.
Someone's going to take him, right? High, tight end 1 in the class.
It's a good point.
The only one that really hasn't blown it yet.
Yeah, it looks like the guy that was going to be number 2 really just dropped off the map. So, yeah.
Yep, that's a good call.
I like that pick there. No, I think McBride, I know it was just combine-wise, but he looked great on all those different routes, receptions, his vertical. Yeah. I mean, I think during watching the combine, someone referred to him as like a baby Jason Witten, which doesn't sound like the sexiest pick ever because everyone wants Kelsey, Kittle, these massive production tight ends. However, if I can sign up for 10 years of Jason Witten and what he provided Dallas, that's an awesome pick there.
Agreed. I like it, especially in a 2-point PPR for tight ends. That's definitely.
Oh yeah.
All right, Courtney, you're up to 205.
All right, here we go. Look, this is another toss-up. I've been going back and forth on it for a while and was hoping someone would take one of them so I wouldn't have to have this, hard decision. But I'm going with.
Ooh.
Look, I know that he's not the best receiving back, but
it's Rachaad White, by the way, for the audio people.
Oh, right. Sorry. My bad, guys. My bad, guys. But I'd like to draft a running back, and the other ones that I would have chosen are gone, and so he's my next on the list. He definitely has that 3-down back skill set. He's he can go through the tackles. He rushed for 1,000 yards last season. So I mean, he finishes the plays. I'd like him to have a little bit more bulk on him and get a coach that can help him be refined as a better pass back, I'm receiving back, but yeah, that's who I'm taking.
I have a question for Foss actually here.
Go ahead.
About Rachaad White. Who do you think has better burst, Rachaad White or Breece Hall? Because I thought both of them that trade really jumped off the tape for me.
I'm gonna say Hall.
Wow.
I'd say Hall. See, my difference is my thing I like with White. I have White at 4. It's actually his pass catching I really like with White. But no, Hall's a better runner, like pure runner and better burst than him. Yeah,
I think like the other aspects, like the contact balance certainly favored Hall, but I thought like at least my evaluation, the burst score I thought was pretty close on both, and I thought it was super impressive, a lot better than most of this class.
I think Walker is the best burst in the class.
Oh,
honestly.
Okay, interesting. All right.
I went real weird there. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. Well, I asked, to be fair. I asked a really weird question, so.
All right, we are up at the 206. Zach, I'm gonna go to you. Who do you think we should pick here at the 206?
So at this point, I was already kind of looking ahead as to who I wanted to take with the 11th pick of this round. But at this slot, I really like either Sky Moore or John Mechie. Mechie has the ACL he's coming back from in the semifinal of the college football playoffs. So with that lingering issue, I'd probably take the rawness of Sky Moore and just the upside there since the injury concerns with Mechie.
All right, so Sky Moore it is at the 206. 207, Thomas, what you got?
So that makes me really sad. Because
Is the
I'm
sky
sitting
falling
there
for you?
2-7.
I guess
I would have liked to have added more to my collection of Moores that I have on nearly every roster. But I'm at a point where if I take the fantasy walkabout approach, right, we're taking pure value, it's Sam Howell. But I also like to have fun with my fantasy teams. And there's a player that we love on our show a lot. And everything checks out except for his height, which is a hot button topic. I'm taking Wario Robinson,
Nice.
Wandale
Nice.
Wandale, yeah.
at 2-7. If he hits, all signs are pointing full steam ahead. If he misses, I burned a pick. Complete. There's going to be no in between. So I'm happy taking him there, unless Howell gets really slick DC.
I wonder, was Thomas in the PLP we just did, Jeff, where that team had more? They had DJ Moore, Elijah Moore. That was the team name. So,
Yeah,
welcome, Thomas.
that sounds
if that was your
like
league.
that sounds like something I would do. Yeah.
Yeah, his team name was More, and he had all the Moores. All right.
Is it going
David
for-
Moore?
going for-
Did he have David Moore?
No, he did not have David. He had Rondell.
I don't think he was
TJ.
rostered.
Yeah.
Fraud.
I don't remember seeing him.
All right.
But yeah, goingfor2.com/PLP. I think it's for anyone who wants to book their own podcast. Just a
There
little
you
ad
go.
there.
Yeah, it's a good little plug. You're better at this than me, Kyle. You do a lot more podcasts than me.
It's an extra $20 for me to be on the show, and I will be ruthless.
All right, we're up at the 208. Gerson, I want your thoughts here. Give me the 208 pick here.
Okay, so I mean, I guess people always have this thing like combine metric, like it matters everything. It doesn't to me. It's a little bit of the equation. David Bell is going to be my pick right here. I think David Bell, in comparison to me, what I saw on tape and what I saw on the combine, it doesn't make a big difference. I mean, David Bell is a very finesse route runner. He does everything right that you want him to do for a wide receiver. And the comparison I have to him is Keenan Allen. And the funny thing is, Keenan Allen had a bad combine just like him too.
Yep.
I mean, it's sad to see the comparison, but I guess if you got to go to a degree, that's what it is. But I think if he falls into a very good situation, let's say he needs a quarterback that can work with him, though. You can't throw him in there with like we're just gonna say a shitty quarterback, Mitch Trubisky, you know. You got to go in there. Let's say Herbert. Let's say they bring David Bell to the Los Angeles Chargers. Okay, but that actually wouldn't be. They probably wouldn't do that though. But a good quarterback, you know, a good smart coach. But I like him. Like I don't know why he's falling so far, and I think he can be a draft day value for fantasy football. So I'm gonna pick him in the late second, probably early third. I wouldn't be shocked if he falls that far.
Yeah, pre combine, he was a first round pick in fantasy drafts, and he fell because of the combine. So 208 is definitely a good value to have for sure. All right, Kyle, you are on the clock at the 209.
Funny, Foss and I share something in common. Our RB4 is a white, but I have actually Zamir White instead of Rashad White, and a bit like Kenneth Walker, not the greatest pass catching pedigree, but I think absolutely great runner. I think he had the best footwork in the class. I thought the technical aspect of running, it seems like he gets it. Always like turning his feet whenever he's getting hit, and good contact balance that way, but also no wasted motion with his steps. He cuts really quickly. I think he's the better. Is it Georgia? Yeah, right, these guys are Georgia. I think he's very clearly the better Georgia running back. I'm not so much. Maybe it's a Packers bias. I'm not so much a fan of James Cook.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. I'm like,
I think Zamir White's the better running back. So I think this is actually, again, as the RB4 for me personally, good value here.
It's definitely good.
I was considering Sam Howell, and knowing like if I was looking at this as an actual team drafting, already going Desmond Ridder, probably wouldn't want to take two risky quarterbacks like that. Instead, go with a running back that looks like to be a good, safer prospect.
Kyle, I have Zamir White running back 4 too. So
Nice.
We're on point.
Okay, so you probably like this pick overall better than my first round pick.
Yeah, that's for sure, bro. Like hey man, I love you, but
I love you too, bro.
All right, the 210 here. I'm gonna go to you, Ryan. Give me your 210. Who would you take here?
I'm just doing it so we have to get off the board, and Sam Howell needs to go. I think he should have went ahead of some of the other quarterbacks taken. He has a skill set. He has a skill set to start pretty soon, and he's actually pretty mobile and can run, which nobody talks about. But he's pretty set. And John Love, friend of the show, that's his quarterback 1, and I trust John Love.
Yeah, John Love is good. He did say that on our show 2 weeks ago. He said that
2 weeks ago, and I just couldn't do that to John, not having him go in the second round. Just couldn't do it.
All right, Zach. Yeah, John's got number 1 quarterback. Zach, you're on the clock at the 211 here.
I am ecstatic with this pick if this is what happens in real life. I kind of have a working theory that after about middle of the second round, my expectations are a lot lower in regards to what I hope of the first year. So with that in mind, getting someone like Mechie who has beautiful route running, obviously the injury was not too long ago, but if he can come back, stay healthy, I love what I'm getting at this slot value.
Nice. I like it. That's a great pick there. And since y'all are making me pick here, I'm just going to pick. I'm going with Cook. I'm going with the other running back that Kyle mentioned earlier. Getting a running back that could potentially be a starter for me at the 212 is definitely something that I'm looking at. And Cook is one of those guys that's been talked about as a potential, not necessarily a great running back, but a good 3-down back that can do it all. So that's
pass catching.
Yep, the 212. Yeah, he can do it all.
Seems like it's his strength almost. So that is what we desire in fantasy, right?
Definitely. Gerson, 301. This is where it gets interesting.
Yeah. I don't think a lot of people are gonna like my next pick, but it's whatever. Let me find my sleeper page though.
He lost his sleeper page.
Yes, because I have so many tabs. Jeff, just pick Brian Robinson.
Pick Brian Robinson.
That's actually
not on the clock.
That's a great pick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brian Robinson. I mean, Alabama running back. It's just, to me, I know people like kind of hate on like, I guess like you can say like, they hate on his tape. No, they hate more on like his like the metrics, but I love his tape. Like I think he just has the work cut out for him. There's a lot of people that are higher on. I can't say his last name. Maybe one of you guys can help me out. Tyler Algier. Is that how you say his name?
It sounds right to me.
Algier, yeah.
Algier.
Yeah.
And I didn't get it,
Algeria.
but Brian Robinson, just what I saw from him is just at a 3rd round value for me. I mean, to get Breece Hall, Kenneth Pickett, and Brian Robinson, which I think Brian Robinson, and I hope so. I think he will get 2nd-day draft capital.
Nice.
I book on it. I put money on it.
I think he does too.
I'm gonna go to PrizePick.com and put money on it. He's gonna get 2nd-day draft capital. I don't know if he gets sponsored by. I don't know how if you do, but if not, let's get that on this show. But, yeah, Brian Robinson, man. I love it. I love his metric. I love what he's done. And I watched his tape and I think he's an NFL running back. Like he fits a lot of different ways. 25 pounds, 6'2". He has a BMI of 28.9. I just think to me it's just like if he goes to the right situation, he kind of reminds me like Ramondre Stevenson. When he went to the right situation, New England Patriots. But I don't know, man. Like, I think he's a good value in the 3rd round.
All right, I like it. The 302, I'm going to go to you, Thomas, for this one here. Who do you have going to the 302 here?
Well, one of the last guys that are still on the consensus full tilt ranks is Justin Ross. So I think at 3-2, he's going to be my pick there. if he gets any draft capital at all, you're probably really happy. But everything from his breakout age to his size is more than fine. Third round pick, all you're hoping for is a little bit of production.
Agreed. All right, Foss, you are on the clock at the 303.
Oh, I'm actually really excited about this. I love Malik Pierce. I was a big fan of him before the combine. I thought he had fantastic hands. His catch radius is unbelievable. He made Desmond Ritter's off-target passes made him look kind of competent to throw the outside of some of the passes. It's like it's sticking in his hands, and it's a good route runner. But what I didn't expect was him to come out and run a 4.41 at 6'3" and have a huge vertical. I'm all in on somebody like him. I probably took him above a few of the receivers taken already. But, man, there's a lot to like there for somebody who can do a lot of things to the outside. He's perfect wide receiver 2 on a team. He's a great complementary piece who can be a stick mover.
I like
He's very Mike Evans to Johnny Manziel. In how he saved so many of his throws from going the other way.
So is Desmond Ridder going to play for the Montreal Alouettes then? Is that what we're?
He's a future Toronto Argonaut for sure. He'll probably play in the XFL before that.
I like Pierce. I love that big Ross. Sorry, I had to go to the bathroom, guys.
You're good.
Hey, hold on. While we're on here,
I love Malik Pierce, huh?
Desmond Ridder looked good on tape, but it wasn't because of himself. It was because of this guy.
Yeah, that's what I said. Ritter's passes were all over the place. They're in the area, but the ball placement was trash, and he just caught everything.
Nice.
That's why
Gerson gives his stamp of approval.
Well, I guess I like Ridder too much, but I also don't want him playing for the Argonauts. That would probably be scary, to be honest.
All right, we're at the 304. This is a consensus pick here, so I'm going to go with you, Kyle. Give me your thoughts on the 304.
Carson Strong.
Yeah, I think. Well, that's the thing. I can hear the very strong whispers for Carson Strong. Quarterback value would almost dictate that, right? I mean, I was going to say, is there a tight end that's worth taking with the 2 PPR tight end? That's probably not likely.
I saw Carson Strong play in person, and the kid's got incredible arm strength. He's got a lot of other stuff to work on, but he's got incredible arm strength, and he was fun to watch. So I think he's a steal right here.
Nice.
It's funny how you hinted at that, and now you won't be able to pick him with your pick.
Yeah, now you're
I know, but I mean, it's cool. That's cool.
Doing whatever's the case for the listeners, right, and the viewers.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I'm probably reaching again, but and I feel like I should be taking a wide receiver here, but I'm gonna hope that I've got a really good team already. Fingers crossed. I'm going with Damian Pierce.
Oh,
nice.
I like this kid. I watched him at the Senior Bowl, and it was out of nowhere. I like him. I think he is going to surprise a lot of us, and I like him. I can't really tell you every reason why, because I think that there's obviously a lot better running backs out there, but there's something special about him, and I like him, and I think he could be special in the NFL. So let's go, Damian Pierce.
All right. And we are at the 306. Let's see, who haven't I called on a little bit? Gerson, you look you're bored over there. Give me your 306.
Well, I'm definitely not doing that fucker to the top.
Wow.
Well, we saw him bomb the combine.
He's still running his 40, isn't he?
To his defense, the guy listed right under him's worse.
I see him right there.
Yeah.
I know, and that makes me so sad because I loved him in college.
Yeah, and that's why I didn't want to have sleeper draft, because they would have picked those 2 guys by now. So I think that's why we did it this way.
I wonder if Kyron Williams will be better than former Notre Dame running back Dexter Williams. I'm not so convinced. I think he is better, but not by much. At least he can catch a football. Dexter Williams was literally incapable of doing that.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. Just pick Jerome Ford for me. I still can't find his sleeper tab.
All right.
Yeah, Jerome Ford. I mean, I was a big Jerome Ford fan before the combine, before everything. I told Ryan, I told Jeff.
That's my dude.
Jerome Ford was a top 5 running back for me. He did disappoint me at the combine. I expected him to be a lot faster, a lot quicker, and even his what he did on the field didn't impress me. But I'm still gonna stick out, for him. 5'11", 210 pounds. I mean, we know this guy. He came out of he came to Alabama, then transferred over to Cincinnati. I mean, if Alabama's recruiting you, you know you're good.
Yeah.
You're not a shitty running back. And I still have him pretty high up there. I'm just gonna go with my gut and just pick Jerome Ford in the third round.
Yep, third round. This is the dart throw area now anyway. So if you liked him before the combine, might as well just take him here in the third. I like it. Thomas, you're up at the 307.
I'm so happy right now that I didn't pull all this information up for nothing. I'm gonna butcher his name because it's kind of a thing that I do, but I'm taking Jalani Woods from Virginia in this
That
spot.
sounded right on.
He put up 24 on the bench. He has an RAS score of his RAS score is absolutely insane. And of course, if you're living by the bar graph over on Player Profiler, like 94th, 95th, and 89th percentile on all of the athletic measures that you want to see. He's 6'7", 252 with an outrageous wingspan. He's at third round, especially in a 2-point. I'm going to pick him if it's not a 2-point tight end premium because I want to have him in every roster just in case.
Yeah, he's a name. So I don't watch a lot of college football, but he's a name that when I watched the combine, he jumped out at me on the combine. I was like, who was that guy? And like I said, I don't watch much college football, but he definitely looked good at the combine.
He had me at 6'7" and athletic. That was it. I didn't care about anything else.
Exactly. All right. 308 is the consensus pick. I'm going to go to you, Zach. Give me who you think should go here at the 308.
All right. Well, a couple weeks ago, or I should say pre-combine, and a little bit prior, it's crazy to see Weidermeyer here. Not anymore, though, sadly. And at this point, he's a little undersized, but I like Isaiah Likely, tight end, 2-point premium there. I like that slot for him. I mean,
Wow.
That's exactly who I would have taken.
I'm glad we're on the same page.
I like his
how
choice.
bad he did today?
Huh?
Even after how bad he did at his pro day
Yeah,
today?
his pro day was bad.
I'm fine with it. The combine looked better. I mean, obviously, I'd love some consistency. However, I liked what I saw last year. I'm curious to see his fit, but at this point in the draft with the 2-point tight end premium,
That is
Take
true.
a shot.
I want to take the shot and see how it works.
He's a big boy too.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Sorry about that, sir.
No, you're
All right.
good.
Kyle, you're at 309 here.
So pure tape evaluation. This is actually my RB2. Now I'm not going to have him rank there fantasy wise. Obviously, I had Hall at 3 in the tape, so he's going to probably be the RB1 overall anyway. Walker was higher, and Zamir White was close. Those are probably all guys. Obviously, I took Zamir White last, so doesn't quite make RB2 in my rankings, but I love the tape with Keontae Ingram. Another guy, like the burst, like the quick area movement, decent technical running, the pad level and decent body fluidity. Maybe not quite the contact balance, like fighting through contact, I was going to say Isaiah Walker. I've been mixing him and spilled up too much. Kenneth Walker. He's got a lot, probably that kind of what we saw Najee Harris a little bit last year. Not quite to Najee Harris extent. So that's maybe the one area where Ingram could maybe improve on. Well, it's tough to improve on it, or we'd like to see more. But I think as a guy, especially in space, quick area burst, I think there's a role for him in the NFL. So I really like Keontae Ingram out of, I think it's USC.
I like it. All right, the 310. I'm going to go to you, Ryan. Give me who you think should go here at the 310.
At the 310, I fall for explosive third down backs just because I know there's a place for them in fantasy and some upside. I can see kind of where we saw the.
Are you doing it?
I think Todd Chandler.
Oh wow!
I think Todd Chandler's very explosive. He has fantastic hands. I think we can see a little bit of that like usage we've seen with Michael Carter this year. Like I picture him in that role. And he could be a very solid fantasy player, but he could be a 45th reception guy because of what he brings speed-wise and with his hands combined. I think it's a nice combination. We'll get him some extra draft value, what we may not expect.
I like it. All right, Zach, you're at the 311.
This is a pick I'm way too excited about relative to the slot, and I'm kind of offended that he's fourth from the bottom out of all the rookies in the sleeper pool. But Romeo Dobbs out of Nevada, I've been very excited about him entering last year. And, well, it was an up and down season. He's shown some high points, some low points. But, I mean, for example, Fresno State last year, 19 receptions, 203 yards, and a touchdown. I mean, he was their focal point for Carson Strong. I know he had a good QB, so you have to take some of that with a grain of salt. But at this slot, I'm curious to see where he goes. I saw a mock earlier today that had him falling in the third round of the Chiefs, and if that's the case, I would absolutely love that fit there. He's a guy that, they've said there's some concern about if he's fully mentally committed or like if he's always locked in due to the streakiness of his production. But I'm hoping with some maturity and the right system, with the right leaders in the locker room, he can give it his all.
Good stuff. All right.
Let me just take him. There we go.
I'm going to go ahead and pick the last pick here. And this is a guy that I had sent to Ryan before the combine. And he's one of those catch it and fall down kind of tight ends, but he's 6'5", 250. He seemed to catch everything that at least when I watched the tape on him, and that's going to be Jeremy Ruckert. His combine wasn't great. He's a huge athlete, but like I said, he did look good on tape as far as catching. He had a couple of one-handed catches. At 6'5", he's definitely going to be a red zone threat, and then 2-point PPR per tight ends. I think definitely could work.
I like that pick. No, I like him a lot as well. There's another tight end that I would have been targeting if it was later in the fourth, since he's so far down in every sort of mock. But Jake Ferguson, another 6'5" tight end out of Wisconsin.
Nice.
I'm curious to see where he falls as well, because some team will take him late, and yeah.
Good stuff. All right, that wraps up the 3-round mock. I was hoping to get to some listener questions. Unfortunately, we did not have time to get to that. But great show nonetheless. What's wrong, Thomas? I see you over there.
I want to do a 4th round. I've got 4 or 5 sticks guys in my queue right now.
I know, right?
Go.
I've got plenty too.
We'll have to get you on. We'll deep dive. We'll go 4 through 6 on the next one.
Nice.
There we go.
Get them all in there. All right, guys, that wraps the podcast up. We'll go around the room really quick. Give us your Twitter handle. If you want to plug anything you're working on, go ahead and do that. We'll go around the room just from the left to right here. So Zach, we'll go to you first.
As you guys can see on the screen, it's the Big Pulowski. That's my Twitter handle. I don't have anything to plug right now, but I wanted to thank you for having me on. It's nice to actually meet you guys and be able to join on this. I'm looking forward to doing more podcast stuff with you guys. And once we get rolling on that other series, I'm excited about it.
Good stuff. Gerson.
You can find me at the Fantasy DFS. Obviously, we're far away from week 1. But every Friday I do a show with Jeff and Tim. I don't know. I might hold out though if I'm not on a certain show later on in the season. I might go to Cabo and hold out.
Gerson, I don't know if you have that kind of pull, buddy.
No, bro, I have money to go to Cabo. You calm your ass down.
No, I'm saying get the pull to hold out.
Yeah.
Good point there.
Tyreek Hill can't stay on team. I don't know about you, Gerson.
Hey, shout out to the Big Pulowski. Me and you, there's 2 wide receivers you got, and I love both of them.
I'm glad we're on the same page.
But no, good seeing you guys all on the show. Courtney, Thomas, Kyle, and other team. But yeah, you can find me on the Fantasy the show, and I guess I'm not that active on Twitter though. I'll give you that much.
Now Gerson said he's far away from week 1 in DFS, but what he failed to plug was our NFL draft mock that's coming up April 10th.
Yes.
Which he will be part of. So he will be on there doing the mock draft. So definitely check that out. It's on a Sunday. It'll be on an off day, but check that out. All right, Foss, what you got going on?
Find me here on Wednesday nights. Find me over at Sports Illustrated Draft 5. Our podcast comes out Wednesday mornings.
All right. And Courtney?
You guys can find me writing for you, Jeff, and at Love Tractor 3 on Twitter. And I am getting ready to try to put out some. I always do a Saints mock draft. I got 2 out of 4 last year in my first 4 rounds, so I'm hoping to get 3 out of 4 this year. So yeah, let's go, Matt Corral.
Good stuff. All right.
He's going to the Saints.
And thanks for having me, guys. I always enjoy listening to y'all and learning from y'all. It's always a pleasure. So thank you.
It's good to have you. Thomas, what you got?
Well, you can find me over there, Thomas Tipple FF, over there on the Bird app, where everyone likes to argue about absolutely everything on the face of the planet. You can catch me Tuesdays, the Full Tilt Dynasty podcast. You can catch me Saturday afternoons with my mate from across the world, Tom Lee, on the Fantasy Walkabout. And Jeff, very much happy to be a part of the team. Happy to be here for the first time. And I've got a Amari Cooper as the Fantasy Football Middle Child article in the works for you guys right now. So thanks for having me, everybody. Happy to meet everyone.
Yeah, glad to have you on. Kyle.
So I'm on Twitter at Senra Says, and you can also find my podcast, The Full Press Fantasy Pod, at FPC_Fantasy Pod. And of course, part of the Going for Two family, part of the Going for Two live network, I co-host or host a couple shows. Dynasty Gambit, which will be on, I guess, next Thursday. So 8 days from now will be our next episode. Kind of think we're doing a rookie mock as well. So, but just get some different voices, different perspectives. My co-hosts Devin and Brian. And then I also host the press coverage show, and normally on Mondays, but this week I had to reschedule. So our upcoming episode will be Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern time. I have Linda Godfrey coming on, so I'll be kicking it with her and talking. That should be a good conversation. So yeah, normally Mondays, but the next 2 press coverages will be on Saturdays. So watch out for that.
Press coverage is a cool show because it's not your typical fantasy show. It's more about the people behind the content. It's a really cool show.
Nice.
If you haven't checked it out, definitely check it out.
Thanks, Jeff.
All right, guys. I mentioned the NFL first round mock draft show April 10th, but we also are going to have a Going for Two basically party for the entire NFL draft. We'll be going live all 3 days. Pretty much everybody's going to be on there at some point, kind of just coming in and giving us their opinion, checking everything out. Gerson and Ryan will probably be a little intoxicated, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, man! I got
Yeah.
I asked for those 2 days off. I told my boss, dude, I asked you 2 months ago, when am I going to get this shit approved? And he's like, oh my God, hold on, D. I'm going to get to you. And when I got it approved, I was like, yeah.
All right. As always, you can follow me on Twitter at Jeff Lambert77 for the whole Going for Two team. We will see you next week.
Peace.
Go Pack Go!
Boo.
Just for Tim in spirit.